Venerable heir, Doula, and you, my brother, I count on you. And with that, one of the most feared villains of Dragon Ball Kakumei is finally defeated. I failed my mission, so as a matter of principle, I'm letting you go back out there with that Bulma. On the other hand, Amaron's more reckless than I am. You'd better think twice about what you want to do against him. And with that, the Tuffle also has reached his limit, battling across multiple manga chapters. It's finally over. And with the help of his trusty android, they have finally kept Bulma safe. The promise that Kaba kept to Vegeta all those chapters ago has finally been kept. You did it! I can't thank you enough! Miss Bulma! Peppino! And what about him? Asked the lieutenant. Peppino vanquished him. Well done. And I do gotta agree with all of them that Peppino definitely came out on top here. He pushed it to the very limit, did everything he could to keep Bulma safe, keep his promise, and he wasn't even there to hear the promise in the first place. He came in the third quarter and he absolutely squashed it. This young man, thanks Lieutenant, I can't believe it. Peppino, we should join your mother and the other isolated inhabitants. I'll be safe and the others will take care of the rest. I wonder how the others are doing. Has Kale managed to calm Broly down? I'm having trouble sensing her ki. Let's not waste any more time and get back to Kale. The king of planet Sadala stands before the demon Doula. He is at his utmost state, completely ripped and filled with Saiyan power, cursed Saiyan power that he told himself he would never grasp again. Ah, so you can change your hair color too. Blonde might suit me too. I hate this feeling. It feels like I have to put it aside. Tss. Let's be done with this primitive people of good for nothing. Arrogant, believe me, you and your colleagues won't be the catalyst for Sadala's downfall. And with that, Doula attacks but stops himself mid-flight, mid-attack, to the king's confusion. Where's Salaga? The bond between us seems to have broken. No, I must be mistaken. It's impossible. The king tries to take this time to strike Doula, to finish it. He is not letting him dictate the terms of the fight, but that's all that Doula does. He dictates the terms of the fight with his portals. Portals are a real problem. At this rate, I could put myself out of business. Goes in for the attack once more, just a trick, and completely bypasses the portal, punching Doula, striking the demon straight in the face. His temperament and attitude have changed completely. What is going on? Earlier, a dimension opened up and I felt our link gradually fade away. I don't understand. You're really missing out, but I've got responsibilities to fulfill, and if you don't want to face me, I'm going to cut the fight short. He would indeed be... I don't think you understand that you're no longer my priority, but if you insist, the way he moves is abnormal. As Doula twists and contorts his body to fit whatever form of fighting he prefers. The king tries to strike again, but this strike is completely dodged as Doula closes in. If Salaga really is what I think it is, I can swear on my honor that I'll take great pleasure in devouring every citizen of your bloody planet. Another strike by the king, another dodge. Boom, 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 boom. And with quick succession, Doula immediately heals every single one of his outstanding wounds. Could have done this all along, but he was playing with the king. Now his priorities have shifted because his partner is defeated. What is it? A capacity for recovery? And as the King Dio walks towards Doula, Doula opens up another portal and his hand snaps the king's ankles while another hand portals in from behind. You do not really think I'm going to let myself, as Doula grabs the back of his neck. What was that? Down! As Doula continues to push down on the king's neck towards the ground. Now he's got a firm grip around his throat And what he does next will shock you. With one portal, he yeets him through another portal into fat bearded scum. Instead of acting tough by cauterizing your gut all by yourself, you should have made sure you don't get hit twice in the same place. As Doula knees him in the wound he just healed. Emergency heal too, like this wasn't a normal heal. He had to cauterize this wound that Doula opened up in his chest, so it's going to be far more sensitive and far more vital for him to keep that from getting hit twice, and he did not. Which goes to show the difference in power between even just how epic of a Super Saiyan the King actually looks compared to Doula, who was already on that level where he could withstand some of the attacks that Broly was lobbing at him. A normal Super Saiyan is not going to be able to compete whatsoever. I think that you're as well placed as I am to understand that this injury won't stop me. A blow for a blow. And he gets a nice clean strike right into Doula's face. The only problem with this situation is that he's already struck Doula several times over. He's already fought him, he's already made him bleed, and none of this is enough to put Doula down. None of this is enough to really hurt him. Even when Doula had his guard down, none of it was enough to end the fight. Dark hands again come from the void and wrap themselves around the king. I recognize you all. No remorse. The cursed power. No, not right now. It's all his fault. You have broken your promise. We're dead because of you. I am aware of all this and I am deeply sorry, but I have to move on. And that's supposed to be fit for a king. The other fat green-haired suit maker has stopped raging at his mate, it seems. And one less threat. What a jerk. As we see not only the complete crumbling of not only the king to his PTSD, but also Broly to his inner demons. For mercy's sake, calm down. Broly. That piece of rubbish deserves to pay for Chilai, but you've already done enough damages. Please, I believe in you more than anyone else. And with that, Kale finally fades away. She cannot withstand any more of the onslaught that Broly has delivered on her. She is gone, just like Chilai. What's happening to me? Chilai, I'd have prepared to be in your shoes. No. Chilai and Lemo are all we've got. They're our friends, our family. That bloody demon has to pay. Whatever it takes, rage is the key to our revenge. No, this strength, this innate fury only leads to bad results. It makes us hurt our friends and... You're wrong. Power governs the laws of this world. With this power, no one will dare attack those closest to us. And before our enemies begin to fear us, how many victims must we claim? How many more lives are we going to have to crush with our hands to make our attackers understand that they should never have attacked us? Huh? Go on, tell me. You just don't understand. We have to. You're the one who doesn't understand. You're nothing more than a catalyst for my negative emotions, powerful enough to cause harm to my own friends, even those who are doing the maximum to dissuade me. It took Kale to rubbing death because of me to realize I thought I was acting to protect our loved ones, but in the end I only made them feel fear. Our enemies use me to achieve their goals, and here's where we are now. Where are you going? Come back. You can't get rid of me like that. Don't insist. I'll never again resort to this uncontrollable animosity. So that's your plan? You're gonna give up your only chance to destroy this damn demon? Do you really think you can contain the power that lies dormant inside you and that'll never stop growing? I'm going to deal with you and trust my friends. It's true that this power helps me, but from now on I'll be using you, not the other way around. You're never going to make it, I swear. Shut up, Your Majesty. I'm going to finish you off right now. Here comes the gorilla once again. As Broly finally masters his legendary form. With one solid movement, Broly grabs Doula's arm and takes it away. You could tell just the face that Doula's making. It's not the confident, cocky face he's had this entire arc. He is completely serious, and now I think he's starting to realize the reality of the situation here. And I love that he remarks right here. He said that he doesn't look mad anymore because the entirety of the Broly versus Doula, or the Broly versus anybody fight in this arc in Kakumei at this point in time has been Broly really pissed off, Broly losing his mind. And so at this point in time, it's very clear that after Broly essentially killed Kale, it's not verified if she's dead yet, but it seemed like in the last chapter he killed her. He is now, with that sacrifice, like Itachi before him, he has unlocked a brand new ability, and that is Mastered Ikari, is the only thing that I can think of. And I like that Broly is just so much more tranquil, and he almost reminds me of when Goku first went into Ultra Instinct and how calm he was and how fast he was, because in that second of removing Doula's arm, he literally went to sit beside the king, who is having his own like PTSD moment, and confronts Doula at the same time. Broly apologizes to the king. Obviously Broly went berserk and started taking out Saiyans, and so that was not part of the plan. The plan was for them to train, and then for Broly to master Ikari before the war started. Nobody knew the war was going to come to Sadala this quickly, and so Broly, realizing the king is completely out of it, the king has his own issues, his own demons to face, he completely knocks him out, and he has spurred the anger of whatever remaining Saiyans there are. They're upset for him knocking out their king, like beating up all their warriors wasn't enough for him. But no, one of the lieutenants says that no, this is Broly finally in control at last, and it looks like he just knocked out the king to save him. Broly is now thinking clearer than ever. He says, please get your king to safety. When all this is over, I'll accept my punishment. He is ready to meet Doula. The Saiyans don't take orders from Broly. Obviously, after the beating, they're probably sour from him, but the lieutenant tells them, go ahead and follow what he's saying. Let's go. And we get our first image of Mastered Ikari Broly, and it is essentially as big as you can make Broly in the Berserker form, but not look overly grotesque and not look overly out of control. He is fully under his own control. It is unclear whether he's got a different color. I would assume it's still that green-yellow color to him, but he has like that look in his eyes. His pupils are back. He is fully in control of his new transformation. And Doula looks like he tried to one-shot Broly before it was too late, but Broly's just standing on business. He's not moving from his location. The explosion goes off and Broly still is standing there coming through the clouds. He is completely unharmed, so Doula tries another blast. This is obvious Dragon Ball Z villain trying everything in his arsenal to take out the good guy at this point, because he doesn't understand how he got a new transformation, doesn't understand why he's this powerful, but he's going to start throwing everything he's got at him. Frieza did it before, Cell did it before, and now Doula's doing it too. But again, that blast did nothing. But in this shot right here, we can see a little bit more of the other transformations that we've seen from Broly up to this point. The dark cell shading from the overwhelming crazy Broly that we saw, the transformation that we saw where he's fully blacked out. We see far more of his anatomy. Like, he is completely bulky, ripped, he is completely lean, but at the same time like at least double the size of his original form. So he is literally in a new transformation right now. Broly just reaches out his hand just in this panel alone, look how beautiful this panel is. He's reaching out his hand, but as we see the transition, it is him clasping on the shoulder of Doula. And he tells him, you can regenerate, right? He says, that's how you did it, huh? And he stabs him in the chest the same way that Doula did to the king. I don't know if Doula can regenerate out of this one. He did seem to regenerate his hand, but this is a giant Broly-sized, Ikari-controlled, Ikari-mastered attack, sword attack right through him. So I think this might be the end of this character. That was for Chilai. Now regenerate. You're gonna pay for it, I can assure you. See what you've just done? Chilai wasn't so lucky. Come on. And this guy has been, like Doula, he's been just the bane of Kakumei up to this point right now. Taking out Chilai, trying to, part of the team to take out Bulma, and then at the same time, pushing Broly to basically not only take out all the Saiyans, but also take out Kale. And then we have all the entire situation that happened with the king, his PTSD being triggered. Everything is connected to Doula. Doula is, to be honest, from what we've seen so far, he's definitely the deadliest out of all the villains that we've seen from Kakumei up to this point. Broly focuses his fist in Doula's face, but doesn't actually hit him. It's like this sort of like little whirlpool black hole attack comes out of it and punches him right in the face, snapping his head back. That is when Doula activates his trap card. He uses thousands of portals. Remember, Doula is the master of portals, and within those portals, keyblades, it seems like, or key arrows, start coming through them, attacking Broly, and they're all over the place, so Broly cannot dodge these. And he doesn't. He literally just flexes and they bounce right off. So yeah, he's completely fine. It looks like whatever power gap that Doula was with Broly, it's completely amplified now, and this is the first time, the real first time, that we're seeing a mastered Ikari Broly in charge of his own senses. And it's really interesting because in the Dragon Ball Super manga, that's exactly what's going on at this moment. Doula, venerable heir, Salaga died. Unleash yourself. With Doula unlocking a new ability, or maybe unleashing a new form, Broly finally catches up to him, and the only difference in this new transformation is just markings on Doula's eyes, but maybe he's got more mastery over black holes in this new form. In that moment, he unleashes what can only be seen as ki whips, and he actually manages to use his ki, I guess in this new form, to cut through Broly's skin. So now whatever new transformation or unleashment he did, he is now getting closer to that Broly level of power. Like, these god assistants, I guess, or assassins and sorcerers, they are way overpowered when it comes to Dragon Ball characters here, because this guy was literally just completely weakened from Broly, and now he, just from a little transformation, is now getting closer to his level. What's wrong with him? The force of his blow and his precision increased tenfold. I didn't see it coming. Could it be his magic? My physical strength far less developed than yours, but my magic can make up for this without any problem. I am Doula the Summoner, and I'll show you what the honor of my nickname is worth. He's gone. Show me how you defend yourself against them. And just like I thought, he is seemingly having an amplified ability with whatever he just did. The power he just unleashed has amplified not only his magic, but also how great of an amplification his magic can actually hold. Because earlier his magic really wasn't having too much of effect before he did the marking. So now his marking has been extremely amplified, even though his strength, physical strength, has not. So there's still the issue with him that if Broly can get a hold of him, he can probably rip him apart, because his physical body isn't as strong as whatever magic he's displaying here. But just like I said, giant portals, the portals are now quadruple, if not quintuple, the size that they were a minute ago. And with that, we get summoned creatures. The first real time that we're seeing Doula use an ability to summon monsters. And these guys kind of look like the demons that we just saw from Dragon Ball Daima, but not as goofy as the ones we saw from Dragon Ball Daima's trailer. They are huge, at least grade ape size or so max size. They're ginormous. Broly, not wasting any time, literally takes one of them out with a single punch, cracking through his skull, blood everywhere. But this attack left him open for a counterattack from one of the other ones, and this attack punches him straight into the ground. The creatures think that they pinned Broly down, but Broly is not out. He uses his ki breath, I'm assuming ki attack from his mouth, using his ki attack to basically punch back, and this is enough to push the hand away, but the monster uses his own ki breath, and now we have a ki clash. Broly is at the same level of these creatures, it seems like, at least with how much ki he's distributing here. And you can see here, he's using everything that he's got to push these guys back, or in an attempt to destroy as many as he can single-handedly. And with just all the strength that he had, he manages to succeed and blew them up head first. They're completely dead, but you can see here that he is essentially overworked. There's blood spewing from the cuts from earlier. Like, he went to that limit to destroy these monsters. Broly says this form is not permanent. This form exhausts him greatly, and if he loses concentration and focus, he could lose control yet again. So he's dealing with a lot here when it comes to the pros and cons of this transformation, but just as he's thinking this, he gets attacked by another creature. But as easily as the last one, he takes that one out, to the shock of Doula. He thinks that these creatures are indestructible. Broly is proving that completely wrong. So now we're at a time limit of how many creatures Doula can actually summon compared to Broly and how long he can last in the Mastered Ikari. He throws him in the air and he's completely out of the stratosphere, gone into space. Then he comes right back down to attack the last one, which this one looks almost like Hollow Ichigo, just in a far bulkier and far more muscular form. And as he says, "You're the last one," he goes right past his fist, right past his arm, and just uses himself to headshot him. Broly headshot completely disintegrates his brain, killing the creature. And at this point now, he's looking for Doula. He's like, this guy has wasted enough of my time. Where the hell is he? He said, "Behind you, I've summoned the mothership." And if I remember this correctly, this is the ship that they actually came in. So Broly thinks it's useless, but we see here that he's struggling to keep himself sane. And as he destroys the mothership, Doula notices that it seems Broly has lost control again, and luck is finally on Doula's side, because Broly losing control means that he's going to not target Doula specifically. He might attack somebody else, he might attack the entire planet. Seeing his opening, Doula uses the portals to punch Broly, just rock him twice. I mean, I don't see a scenario here where Doula can kill Broly. Even if Broly is in the Berserker form, you can't get past the Broly transformation. And it looks like it didn't last very long, because Broly now basically got slapped right back into his Mastered Ikari. "You all came here just to hurt me and my friends. I'll never be able to forgive you, and now you can no longer escape. I'm just a pawn on the chessboard, my dear, but don't worry, I take responsibility for everything I do. Yeah, I'm stuck here. Too bad for you." And this is interesting because we have not seen this in months, and Doula looks over and sees, he can kind of see a glimpse of Vegeta pushing the Venerable Heir back. Like, he's got him in almost like an arm bar with his entire body, and it looks like even the Venerable Heir is having difficulties here. So I mean, these guys, their mission to get to the gods is not something that may even happen, because they're being stopped at this planet. "I'm sorry, but I've made my choice." And it looks like we are heading into the ending of this chapter and this arc with Doula. More than likely, the next chapter is going to be the end of this fight, where Broly can finally kill this guy, and then we're going to be getting to Vegeta versus an actual god or ex-god of destruction, and see how that actually fares. And if Vegeta ends up going into, like, may say something like Ultra Ego or something along those lines, I don't know if that's going to be in here, but let me know what you guys think of this new chapter. It's going to be Blackscape signing off. Take care, guys.
Subscribe for more content.